Hello everyone and welcome to my Coronation Street official today. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. You are not ready for what just went down on the cobbles. This wasn't just drama, this was pure explosive chaos that changed everything. What we have just witnessed on Coronation Street isn't your typical heated argument or emotional fallout. It's something far more intense, far more unsettling, and honestly far more unforgettable. The confrontation between Carl and Theo didn't just happen out of nowhere. No, this was the result of weeks, maybe even months, of tension quietly building beneath the surface, like a ticking time bomb, just waiting for the right moment to explode. And when it did, it was brutal. Carl, a character we have known to be fiery and unpredictable, finally reached a point where he simply couldn't hold it anymore. Everything he had been feeling, anger, betrayal, fear, frustration, it all came pouring out in one violent, shocking moment. And Theo, he wasn't just an innocent bystander in all of this. His actions, his manipulation, his constant pushing of boundaries, it all contributed to what happened. This wasn't just about fists being thrown. This was about emotions spiraling out of control. It was about two people, both flawed in their own ways, colliding in a moment that has now sent shockwaves across Weatherfield and aftermath. It's only just beginning. From the very beginning of this storyline, you could feel something wasn't right. Every interaction between Carl and Theo carried this uncomfortable tension, like there was something deeper bubbling underneath the surface. And honestly, you could sense it even the smallest moments. The looks, the pauses, the tone of voice. It was like watching a storm slowly form on the horizon, knowing full well it was going to hit, but not knowing just how bad it would be. Carl has always been someone who reacts with his heart first and his head second, and in this situation that trait became his downfall. Imagine being in his position, feeling like someone is constantly pushing your buttons, manipulating situations, making you question everything and everyone around you. That kind of emotional pressure doesn't go away. It builds, it festers, and eventually it explodes. And that explosion, it came in the form of the brutal attack. The moment itself was intense, uncomfortably so. You could almost feel the weight of every punch, every shout, every second of silence in between. This wasn't just violence for shock value. It felt real, it felt raw, and that's what made it so difficult to watch. Because you weren't just seeing two characters fight, you were seeing the breaking point of a human being who had been pushed too far. Theo's reaction in that moment added another layer entirely. There was fear, yes, but also something else, something calculating, something that made you question whether he truly saw this coming, or even worse, whether he had a hand in pushing things to this exact outcome. That's what makes his character so fascinating. He's not just a victim here, he's part of the problem too. And as the confrontation unfolded, you couldn't help but think about everything that led up to it. Every argument, every betrayal, every moment where things could have been handled differently. It's like watching a chain reaction where every link matters, and once it starts, there is no stopping it. Then comes the aftermath, and honestly, that's where things get even more intense. Because now it's not just about Carl and Theo anymore. Now it's about everyone around them. The people who care about them, the people who are forced to pick sides, even when they don't want to. You have got characters like Todd and Roy being pulled into the situation, each dealing with their own moral dilemmas. Do they defend Carl? Do they condemn him? Do they try to understand what drove him to this point? And imagine being in their shoes. Imagine watching someone you know, someone you care about, cross a line like that. It's not black and white, it's messy, it's emotional, and it forces everyone to confront some very uncomfortable truths. Even the atmosphere on the street feels different now. There is this lingering tension, like something has shifted in a way that can't be undone. People are walking on eggshells, conversations feel heavier, and there is this constant question hanging in the air: what happens next? But let's be real, something like this doesn't just get brushed under the rug. What makes this storyline so powerful isn't just the shock factor, it's the emotional depth behind it. This isn't just about a fight, it's about what happens when emotions are left unchecked for too long. It's about how anger, when combined with fear and a sense of helplessness, can lead to decisions that change everything. Carl's actions, as shocking as they are, don't come from nowhere. They come from a place of feeling cornered, of wanting to protect, of wanting to take back control. But here's the thing, once you cross that line, there is no easy way back. And that's exactly what makes this situation so compelling, because now Carl has to live with what he's done. And that's not something that just fades away. At the same time, Theo's role in all of this raises so many questions. Was he truly blindsided by the attack, or did he underestimate just how far Carl would go? And more importantly, what does he do now? Does he seek justice? Does he retaliate? Or does he use this moment to manipulate things even further? The ripple effects are massive. Relationships are being tested in ways we haven't seen before. Trust is being questioned, and the entire community is being forced to confront the reality of what just happened. And let's not ignore the psychological impact here, because beyond the physical injuries, there's emotional damage that runs even deeper. Fear, guilt, regret, anger, these are things that don't just disappear overnight. They linger, they grow, and they influence every decision moving forward. And just when you think the dust has settled, the tension lingers thick and suffocating. Carl's actions aren't just shocking, they force us to confront uncomfortable truths about human impulsivity and loyalty. Could anger ever justify what he did, or does this mark a darker, irreversible turn for him? Theo, meanwhile, is left exposed in a way we haven't truly seen before. And vulnerable, cornered, yet eerily calculating. Are we witnessing the beginning of a redemption arc, or the slow unraveling of a dangerous ego? The psychological fallout is as gripping as the physical clash itself. Every relationship on the street is teetering on the edge. Who will fracture under the weight of secrets, and who will emerge unexpectedly stronger? The ripples from this one moment are only beginning to watch neighbors, friends, and family. And we can't help but wonder which alliances will survive, and which betrayals are still hidden in plain sight. Personally, I can't stop thinking about the tension in Carl's eyes after it all. There's remorse there, yes, but also a fire that might not burn out so easily. It makes me ask, could Carl's aggression spiral even further? Or is this the catalyst that finally forces him to change? And Theo, is he learning from the chaos or merely plotting his next move? These questions keep me glued to the screen every time, and I bet they're driving you crazy too. Looking ahead, I predict that the fallout will create unexpected alliances and shocking betrayals. Perhaps someone we least suspect will step into challenge Carl. Or maybe Theo will take an unthinkable risk that turns the street upside down. The tension is far from over, and every glance, every whispered word could be the spark for the next explosion. Personally, I can't stop thinking about the tension in Carl's eyes after it all. There is remorse there, yes, but also a fire that might not burn out so easily. It makes me ask, could Carl's aggression spiral in even further? Or is this the catalyst that finally forces him to change? And Theo, is he learning from the chaos, or merely plotting his next move? These questions keep me glued to the screen every time, and I bet they're driving you crazy too. Looking ahead, I predict that the fallout will create unexpected alliances and shocking betrayals. Perhaps someone we least suspect will step into challenge Carl, or maybe Theo will take an unthinkable risk that turns the street upside down. The tension is far from over, and every glance, every whispered word could be the spark for the next explosion.